Hey, how's it going? On today's episode of DW Rants, I just want to talk to you about why you should never leave your job until you have another job. Yes, why you should never leave your job until you have another job. Once again, yes. A lot of times at work, we can get so mad and so frustrated with our coworkers, with lazy management, with bad processes, with overall just the whole situation, the culture and stuff. We could be like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm leaving this job. Or it could be something that, you're just waiting like a ticking time bomb for that one thing to happen. A customer piss you off, your boss piss you off, or whatever happens. You just get frustrated and you just go off and you quit. Well, the problem is, a lot of people don't know this. When you quit, well, at least in California, you don't get paid unemployment. So you're just basically, you're kind of like on your own when you quit. Whereas if you get fired, you get unemployment, and then you can, you'll have money coming in until you find a new job. But when you just walk away and quit, at least in California, you're pretty much done. Unless you got money saved, you're going to be struggling. So that's why you want to make sure that you find a job waiting for you. Yes. Don't be emotional. Like I said, at least it's better to have a job looking for a job than to not have a job looking for a job. Because when you don't have a job looking for your job, you're in like hustle mode, like in survival mode, because your rent's coming due, your car payment's coming due, your credit card's coming due, and you don't have that continuous income coming in. Because remember, you quit your job. They didn't fire you, you quit because you got in your feelings. And as a result of that, if you don't get a job soon, you're going to miss your bills due, you're going to mess your credit up. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you have a job waiting for you. So what I would suggest in situations like this is, let's be honest, sometimes it's our fault at work. The younger generation, they don't want to work. Or sometimes it could be an incompetent supervisor. Or sometimes it could just be you just not happy with your job. You may be stagnant in your career, or you've been doing this for so long, you want something different, you see so many people making so much money. And while we're on that, let me say this. A lot of stuff you see on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's fake. People look like they're balling out of control, but they're not. They really aren't. People don't realize if you have 1 million followers on Instagram, you still got to work. Unless you got some really good sponsorships. $1 million followers doesn't pay anything. It's just followers just on paper for cred and clout and make you feel good. It doesn't pay anything unless you have sponsors that are behind you that are helping you, push, your brand deals and stuff like that. A lot of people see these actors and actresses. Did you know the average actor makes $50,000 a year? Yes, that's true. Look it up. The average singer makes about $50,000 a year. Look it up. Now, you will have those like, the Eminem, singer-wise, or the actors, the Denzels, the Tom Cruise, that command top dollar. But the majority of them, they don't. It's called being famous and broke. Their faces are out there, but they don't have money like you think they do. And I understand, like, you're at work and stuff, you're like stressed out, you're like, shit, I'm busting my ass. These people living this life, you see all these trips and stuff like that. A lot of that's credit card debt. A lot of those houses that people are staying in are rented for social media. Do you know there's a place right now you could rent? It's like a little studio where it looks like you're in a private plane or a private jet. I think it's like $100 an hour or something like that. That's a lot of these influencers are doing. But anyway, back to you and your job. Well, no, before I go back to you and your job, once again, a lot of this social media stuff is an illusion, and you can't get crapped out because of that. So you feel you're working so hard, you see everybody living the good life, but it's just not the case. It really isn't. Like I said, social media is a blessing and a curse. The best thing about it is you can get notarized, you can make connections and stuff like this. The worst about it is everybody thinks everybody's balling out of control, and they're not. They really aren't. I know Instagram models that live with their friends, that like 4 or 5 of them live in a house and can barely make rent. Because once again, 1 million followers doesn't pay you nothing unless you got brand deals. So you can see a person with $1 million think they got a good life. A lot of those clothes are rented. A lot of those clothes are loaned. It's all an illusion. So back to your job. You need continuous income coming in. You do. You need continuous income coming in. So by you getting in your feelings and just jumping out and quitting your job and moving out, telling everybody screw you, stuff like that, it'll feel good for 5 minutes. It'll feel really good for 5 minutes. But then those bills hit. Rent or mortgage, car payment, insurance, power bill, water bill, groceries. So that's why you want to plan it out. You definitely want to plan it out. And if I'm you, if I'm leaving my job, I want that offer letter, that background check completed first, just to make sure. Make sure you pass the drug test, the background check, and get that offer letter. Not just my interview went great, F y'all, I'm out of here. Because if you don't get the job, because just like you, everybody's looking for a job, then you got to come crawling back, then they know they got you by the balls. They do. I had a friend I worked with one time. He got pissed off. He said, I'm leaving, I'm going to another place, because his friend was the manager there. Well, he got there, and then after he got there, like a week later, his friend got fired. He's like trying to come back, and the boss are like, no, you ain't coming back nowhere. So once again, I say, do not leave your job until you have a new job waiting. Make sure you got your offer letter. Make sure you pass the drug test. Make sure you pass the background test. And then leave. Don't be emotional. It'll cost you money. Anyway, that was just me on DW Rants, just ranting about don't leave your job till you have a job. And like I said, keep in mind, once again, a lot of the stuff you see on social media is fake. Not everybody's balling. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people have the illusion that they're balling because, once again, the average actor makes $50,000 a year. The average singer makes $50,000 a year. Look it up. I don't know if you remember the cast there was a show called Orange is the New Black. Did you know the cast of that show had regular jobs? They come in after work and do that? I mean, just saying. A lot of famous and broke people.